Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I'm talking about, this is going to be a mouthful, Robotech, first generation, number one, Genesis by Jack McKinney. And this was published by Del Rey. And this is the individual book one. There are omnibuy that collect, I think, 3 books at a time, and I think those are available. I don't know that these individual ones are available in new copies, but I'll have links for something in the description below. Anyway, Robotech, the first generation, number one, Genesis. So, in 1999, a spacecraft crashes on Earth. Humans, I can't think of the word, reverse engineer the technology while repairing the ship. 10 years later, they're ready to relaunch this alien spaceship, show off the new technology we have, and aliens invade the Earth. That's the nutshell. That's what I'm giving you. So, for the too long didn't watch folks, I think I gave it 4 out of 5. I should have double checked. I don't think I went as high as 5. I think it was a 4 out of 5, but maybe a 4.5 out of 5. I really, really liked this book. Now, I am a little biased because I like mechs, like the things in Pacific Rim. For those of you who aren't really familiar with what a mech is, even though I'm not a huge fan of Pacific Rim, I like mech. For some reason, I still haven't figured out why, people piloting giant, sometimes anthropomorphic war machines. So again, a little biased because we have a little bit of that going on in here. This is actually a novelization of an anime, which was, I watched a video a little bit about the history, and there was the Japanese version, and then some stuff was done when it came to America that pissed off some fans, I guess, and some other fans, liked it. I've never watched it. I've seen clips of it. I don't think I've ever watched an entire episode of it. But I've been meaning to read these, and I think I read this one before. I think it's already been on one of my Reading Remembrances videos. But I found all 12 books at Half Price Books and grabbed the entire series. And when I had finished the last book I read, which for those of you keeping track was All Systems Red by Martha Wells, The Murderbot Diaries, I didn't know what I was in the mood for. I think I spent an entire day just trying to figure out what I wanted to read. And so I finally, in desperation, just grabbed this and fell into it. So it actually starts with a sort of cold open with these aliens fighting different aliens, and the one alien, the one guy, has sent this ship away. He doesn't want the bad guy aliens to get it, and he has sent it away. He ends up getting killed. And so 1999, this ship that he had sent away crash lands on Earth. Earth is in the middle of a worldwide civil war, is what they're calling it. But this ship, maybe this is where Alan Moore got the idea for Watchmen, because this alien ship has crash landed, all the fighting stops, and everybody on Earth comes together to figure out what's going on with this ship. And then we kind of jump to 10 years later. The ship's been repaired as best we can. We've reversed engineered all this technology, and they're having the big inaugural celebration on Macross Island, and these aliens invade. And the aliens that are invading Earth are the ones that sent the ship to Earth. Not the guy that did it, but the surviving people. They're pissed off at that guy for sending the ship away. So they're after it. So it's not the bad aliens, except they are bad to us because there is so much death and destruction in this book. It is insane. One of the reasons I like it so much. There is tons and tons of death and destruction. So you've got this great new technology, technology. This is the space station, by the way. And you can't really see the Robotech things very well. But essentially, this isn't really giving anything away. The robotechnology that the humans are using, most essential of it, are they look like fighter jets. When we're introduced to them in the story, they're fighter jets, but then they have two other configurations. One is essentially a fighter jet with legs, and arms are part of the wings, and then there's just the giant robot version. And the pilots, whatever version it's in, they can transform in between the different versions. So I love that, absolutely love it. And we've got veteran military people, and one of the main characters is a pilot who never joined the military. It's a family thing, anti-military, but he's one of the best pilots in the world who ends up getting caught up in what's going on at this inauguration and in the middle of this alien invasion. Once we get to that inauguration day, a big chunk of the book all takes place just within a few hours. And then we get a little more time goes by in the last maybe quarter of the book. There is some melodrama. I mean, this was a long-running cartoon. They got to fill time. So there's some melodrama between characters. Nothing wrong with that. Just pointing out that it's there. Sort of almost soap opera-ish kind of relationship stuff going on in a part of the book. But it builds sort of the politics of the world at the time. And let me see. The copyright for this is 1987. I don't know when the original cartoon came out. But the book came out in 1987. And it's 1999 and then 2009. So they've built sort of a future 22 years into the future. And they do a decent job. The little bits we get about what the worldwide Civil War is about. And then it almost has a feel of a military sci-fi book, because this is, even though there are different world governments and there are people that aren't military, the majority, maybe, of the characters are military characters. It's at least 50-50, I'd say. So it does have a military sci-fi feel to it, but a very loose military. The bridge crew of this ship, very, very friendly to casual with each other. They do their jobs, they follow orders, but very casual. So yeah, just really good science fiction. Even if if you've never heard of the show, it's an enjoyable sort of space opera kind of thing. This isn't hard science fiction. It's got a flavor. It's got a touch of military science fiction, but there's more going on than that. There are some surprises that I didn't see coming. Even if I had read this before, I didn't remember it well enough. I was still surprised by a couple of revelations within the story. And I'm going to try to pepper in these books into my reading here and there so I can get through the whole series, because I enjoyed this one very much. And I don't know that this tells me. I think it's 4 different stories Each one made up of 3 books. So I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look. I keep looking over to where they're at. So I think First Generation is 3 books. And then whatever the next one is 3 books. You know what I'm saying. But it could be 4. 3 sets of 4 books. I don't know. But anyway, that's all neither here nor there. Robotech, Genesis, Jack McKinney, 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's a very well written, very interesting characters, an interesting world. You don't have to have seen the show to enjoy it. I recommend it. And that's that. My question for the video: have you seen Robotech? Are you at all familiar with this? It's also known as Macross, however you pronounce it, Macross. Have you seen it? Are you a fan? If you haven't seen it, does it sound like something interesting to you? If you've seen it and read the book, how do they compare? Just general Robotech questions, let me know in the comments below. And as far as recommendations go, I would say anything in the, I think it's Battletech or Mech Warrior books, for the mech fan. As I said, I don't know why. I haven't figured it out yet, but there's just something about mechs that I love. I love playing a good mech game, whether it's a video game or I haven't found a great mech board game yet. There is Mech Warrior, but that's one of those giant, you got to build your terrain and you use a tape measure. That's a lifestyle game. I'm trying to find a good, just a good tabletop game with some mechs that can battle it out. But yeah, check out Mech Warrior. Again, I think Battletech is a thing. Pacific Rim, if you haven't seen that. The first one is decent. I don't have a problem with it. Not a big fan of the look of the kaiju in that movie, and necessarily the way the mechs worked. But it's entertaining enough. I hear the second one's terrible, so I never bothered with it. But yeah, Pacific Rim, Battletech, Mech Warrior. Those are my recommendations. And I already did the put your questions in the comment below. So if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. Try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, excuse me, I'll have links for my Instagram and Bluesky in the description below. That's all I've got for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith. Until next time, read more books.